Hello beautiful souls, this is Vineeta Kumar, also known as Twinflameunion, bringing you guys October's twin flame messages. It doesn't matter whether you are on a soul's journey or whether you're in a twin flame journey. If you're drawn to this channel and if you're definitely drawn to this reading, stick around. You may actually get some messages and insights. It doesn't really matter. It's so generalized anyway, so you can pick up whatever messages you get intuitively and toss out the rest. Having said that, we are going into October and we are going into the fall season already. And I want to say that with the weather, with the way the weather is, and with Halloween coming up, I felt a different kind of energy, I want to say. So I picked up different kind of cards, so it'll be a very different kind of reading. It'll be more focused on spirit messages versus the usual that I do. So that's what I'm going to say is the theme of this reading. A little bit different than the other ones that I usually do, so stick around. Let's just see what messages want to come. It's just what I've been heavily picking up on, and I just want to say that I'm actually just started a shamanic practitioner program, so a lot of things that I'm personally channeling and just feeling. It's very earthy type of magic anyways, very earthy type of insights that I'm getting. So yeah, it's a little different, but yeah, we'll see if this is actually what the cards will say. It's just the way that I've been feeling up in the air. Anyways, it was a little long intro here, but I just needed to explain what kind of reading this will be. Before we actually dive deep into this, let's hit it. Welcome back. For those that are new to this channel, please do not forget to hit like, share and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so that you do not miss any future videos. If you want to book any private sessions with me, you can do that directly as well. The link is in the description box. You can purchase and book directly from my website. I also want to add that 10% of twinflameunion sales also go to charity. So if you're booking with me, just know that you're also putting out some sort of good cause with a little bit of here and there that I do. As usual, those that are my regular viewers, you know that I always give you October's highlight. And I was, like I said before the intro, that I was channeling some really, nature type of energy, so I selected the cards accordingly. So we'll see what happens. It's something that is a little bit different, but it's also exercising my shamanic what would I say, because it's a little bit weird. I hear different things with different teachers. Shamans don't like to be called shaman unless you are actually you've actually inherited it through the lineage. And but having said that, in my first I just started the program, so I want to say that in my journey I actually was shown something very different, and that was in a past life, and it's something very, very very specific to my ancestry lineage from past life with shamanism. So it was nice to just see that as well in the past life. So yeah, I want to say that that's the type of energy I'm in. So the readings will definitely probably reflect that. We'll see. For October, we've got some really, really interesting things happening. So I'm gonna just give you the highlights. And of course, if you really wanna know more, you can always look at Tanaza's website. That's where I pick it up from. So I just usually tell you a little highlight and that's it. October 6th, we've got new moon in Libra, and then Pluto also goes direct. October 7th, we've got Sun conjuncting Mars, planet Mars, and October 9th we've got inferior conjunct of Sun and Mercury. So basically what I understand is that they will align with each other, and Mercury will travel in retrograde to the underworld. Now in shamanism, it's not actually underworld that we state it as. We call it the lower world. And when I was, for those that are my regular viewers, you know that I actually pre-shuffled the decks, and I was, as I had written this down and I was pre-shuffling to just prep for this reading, the lower world card did show up in my shuffling. So that was just very good thing for me. So that is, it's something that you may want to actually check out her article, because she goes very in depth with all this stuff. October 10th, we've got Saturn that goes direct, and we also have the 1010 portal. So that's very powerful. You may want to look up the angel number 1010 to just see what it actually means. It's got some really good insights, and I want to say almost everybody that is new to their own spiritual awakening, I've noticed this with a few people, so including myself, if you have been just recently awakened to your spiritual journey, you will see 1010 literally everywhere. So comment below and let me know if this is a thing for you guys, because that is the really beginner stage of spiritual journey. And I've noticed that with others, and I know that I was seeing that everywhere as well. And then I looked it up what it meant. It's actually a very powerful portal, so good for doing any sort of rituals and healings, booking with healers, that sort of thing. You want to take advantage of that, because yeah, it's definitely a good portal. October 17th, Jupiter goes direct, and October 17th to the 19th, we've got Arcturus gateway. Arcturus is a superstar, and the sun will align with Arcturus. So with that, it's going to be another portal, I want to say, which is going to which is going to really amplify like prosperity, abundance, your psychic gifts and your psychic energies. So it's a good time to do some sort of manifesting magic. I talk about that all the time. You know, there's always room for manifesting anything you want, right? So you can try any of those things. October 19th, we've got Mercury that goes direct. October 20th, we've got Aries full moon and T-square. So T-squares are very, very profound in astrology, especially for those that actually read or know or study astrology. So again, it depends on your birth charts and how it's laid, but the T-squares actually has a lot of significance to their to the future almost, I want to say. So yeah, look into that. How that affects, if especially if you are if you have Aries in your birth chart as sun, moon, rising, or any of the profound ones, right? Venus even. Okay, so we've got October 22, 23, Scorpio season. So that's when the sun sign is going to move into Scorpio. So that's that, and then October 31st. We have Halloween, and Halloween was if you look back, it's actually a pagan festival. And that's when actually they were celebrating it back in those days, because the veil was very thin from, you know, from the, how would I say it? It's from the normal world to the spiritual world, you know, sort of like the other side, you know. So that veil is really thin, and you know, you get lots of downloads at that time. And of course, you know, back growing up, you know, we learned that as being very Halloween like, where, you know, it's talking about ghosts and goblins and all that sort of thing. But in spiritual world, it's actually very, very potent, very powerful when the veil is thin, because you can actually get lots of downloads, and it's a good time to do actually some good you know, rituals and stuff like that too. Of course, you know, in New Age spiritualism, everything is done in love and light. It's not like, you know, you do witchcraft and stuff like that. That is in a bad way. If you, you know, people do witch work all the time these days, but it's always with angels and you know, just good things, you know, good just herb magic and earth magic, you know, so that sort of thing. So yeah, it's always good to do it in a very light way. So yeah, you know, we try not to talk about the dark stuff, you know. So but yeah, it's very, very potent if you want to actually do those kind of rituals. And also I want to say that October 31st, we've got Venus and Pluto also going conjunct in Sagittarius. So these were the highlights for October. So October is very, very powerful, and I kind of read a little bit of the article. I'll have to reread some of the other highlights, but it just seems like that it's got lots of good stuff happening. So so October can be a good month for any of these things, you know. So with that, let's dive into the reading. I don't know if I've ever actually picked this card out, and while I was shuffling, there was a sync. I'll show you how the back looks. Maybe I have, but I don't bring it out very often. So this is the back of the deck, and I want to say that this was my very, very first tarot deck, and I won't tell you how long ago, but let's just say that it was a long time ago. And at that time, I wasn't into spiritualism at all. I was just fascinated with fortune telling and palmistry and all that sort of thing. But of course, I didn't know how to read it. I didn't understand it, but it was with me from that time. And so this deck is very, very, you know, sacred to me, because it was my very first one, and then after that I got another one, the Egyptian one. So mind you, this one is a little bit Egyptian too, some of the things that it shows. So Egyptian pagan, you know, kind of like that theme. So yeah, so I brought this one out, and while I was shuffling, I didn't even realize that I've got this bracelet, and I actually have I don't know, oh gosh, I don't know. Here we go. You can see like that infinity, right? So I have that, and then I've got this. So that was very, very interesting. And this one is hematite I'm wearing. So, you know, it just goes to show it's you know, some of the things that you see. So infinity sign, I did talk about that in my last month's you know, video, so you guys can look into that. It wasn't planned. I didn't plan it this way, but for my regular viewers, you guys like signs and things, so you can make whatever you want with it. I already, as I said before, I did pre-shuffle these decks, so I'm not going to do it too much, just to cut the air time. Jesus. Okay. We'll see. This, I'm pretty sure you guys will always, you'll already probably like this deck. The first cut that I've got is Two of Cups, and if you can see, this is two lovers that are holding chalices, and with that they've got that cup is already full, and they're exchanging vows. And if you look in the back, you've got that Casudius symbol there, as well as the sun energy, right? The sun is there looking. So this is, I told you this was my first deck. you know, it's close to me. So, and I guess I wasn't, you know, I wasn't picking something that was not what I was picking. So we'll see. But so yeah, so you guys know. I mean, you're regular tarot viewers, I'm pretty sure. So you know, Two of Cups means you know, physical union, alliance of two people in love. So partnerships, right? Business ventures. If you're doing a material reading, then it's just success in every way. If you're looking for love, then it's success there as well. So that's the first card that showed up in the cutting, and I don't know whether it'll show up again, but we'll keep it in the mind. And of course, you know, we've got the next card, and that is the Ace of Rods. Ace of Rods, the way that I look at the rod energy, it's very fiery, it's very passionate, and any of the aces are always the gifts from gifts of the divine. Most readers will look at it this way. So when the rod energy shows up, it's very, very, I want to say, like, very powerful in that sense, where it's not just emotions, it's actually desire, it's passion, it's hot, it's fiery. So it's kind of like that. And usually the way that I pick up with that, we'll see what the rest of the cards lay out, but when I see it'll come up as the Ace of Rods, I usually pick up that it's to do with the desires, the longing, the wanting of something, trying to put something into fruition, but it's that strong urge of the desire, right? So Queen of Cups is the next one. So if you look at this queen, she's closing her eyes and she's got this chalice, and she's just in a meditative state. And if you know anything about Queen of Cups, she's very, very good at picking up intuition, picking up something. She's very, very calm, collected, very loving, but at the same time she's very, very intuitive. She's got psychic gifts, psychic powers. So and because this is such a general reading, I want to say that if it's beside an Ace of Rods, it's coming into some sort of very specific energy for October, for you guys that are watchers, because your intuition will be very, very heightened and very, very you know, you will actually get lots of downloads and stuff like that, because it's the rod energy, and the rod is you know, talking about the desire. And it's usually, if you're in a spiritual journey, it usually talks about spiritual, you know, your soul, the entire process of your soul is to become enlightened, right? You know, to gain consciousness and stuff like that. So that's that soul urge, that burning desire of the soul. So if that makes sense. So that's how I'm picking up those two sandwiched. And then we've got Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is all about the worry card. Sometimes people are too caught up in the ascension process, and what they find is that their nights are a little sleepless. I know that I have been feeling that a lot, where I'm waking up at 3:30 in the morning, 3:45. So if that's something that you guys are also doing in your soul's journey, it's very, very much like that kind of energy. And I've been having some really restless nights, I have to admit. And I feel that it has something to do with a lot of downloads that, you know, you're going through. So that's that kind of energy that I'm saying will be for October for you guys. Lots of your spiritual downloads. I'm not surprised, because I just last week gave a pep talk on the spiritual downloads. So if you haven't checked that video out, check it out. People are liking it because it's to them it's very in-depth. So check it out, what that is and how it actually affects people. So yeah, if you are feeling the energy is going to be heavy in October, which I already felt it was going to be, because it's that energy that I'm picking up. You may want to do a lot of salt baths and salt foot soaks, that sort of thing, because you want to constantly clear the energy, because it's going to be very heavy, and I feel it, because it's October is there's just too many portals and downloads, and the veil is going to be very thin, so you're going to really feel it, and so yeah, just make sure that you're doing a little bit of a self-care here. The last card that I got was the star. So for star, when a star comes, I just want to say that that's a wish fulfillment card. You know, your dreams and your wishes, your aspirations, your goals, those kind of things, you know, they will come into fruition, because it is a wish come true. So that's what that means. So if there were stiff stuff that you guys were manifesting in the past, it's gonna kind of start lining up. You're gonna start seeing your ducks being lined up in a row. Two of rods at the bottom of the deck. So two of the rods is about you know, choosing some sort of decisions and stuff like that, because in traditional deck you see sometimes the two pathways, and you are trying to figure out which one is going to be yours. So again, you know, the Queen of Cups is here. So if you guys were trying to choose some things, you know, even when it comes to your business matters, your career, your work, your love life, your family relationships, your friendships, right? Whatever, traveling. I mean, you know, the world is starting to now open up after the pandemic. So any of these things, if you are in, you know, in that stage where you're trying to choose something, or you're trying to choose a type of healing, or trying to choose a teacher, you're trying to choose let's just say a typical course that you want to take, or a program you want to take, right? So if you are being indecisive, that's what that is there. But then you've got the Ace of Rods and Queen of Cups there, so I wouldn't worry too much on the Nine of Swords energy, where you're having sleepless nights, because the Star is there, and it's gonna give you some sort of light to it. Whatever you will decide will be the right thing from there. So yeah, so I read it in a few different scenarios, so you can have a look at how this actually applies to you, because of course I'm doing this in a very generic way. So there's too many viewers, and you know, I'm giving you messages just as that. So let's see what else wants to come. And of course, as usual, I will list you guys the decks that I use in the order that it shows up, so you can look at the description box and see if any of these cards you actually like and it resonates. If you like it, you can try looking for it. I know that's how I collected a lot of my cards too, because when I was watching some of these readings, I really liked oh, at the bottom of the deck I had If You Believe. Just want to point that out. Oh, okay, here we go. If You Believe. So yeah, I you know, I always looked at all the cards and stuff like that. I paid attention, and if there was anything that I liked, then I looked it up a little bit more. So that's how I did it. If you guys had a lot of questions in your mind, it seems like that's what I'm picking up, just because of the spread, the way it showed up. The answer is yes. So if there was something very specific that you guys were asking, then the answer is yes. And for those that didn't, let's see what the next card is saying next to the yes. Okay, so two cards came. I love it when spirits help me to channel these kind of messages, especially when it's in a very generic way. It's asking for, if you guys were asking some sort of questions about anything, you know, spirit is saying look for a sign. So that's look for a sign here. And the next one is abundance, and that's what I was talking about in the October energy. So abundance is here as well. I like it. I like abundance. I'm pretty sure you all do. So this is a very positive way to look at it, right? So October is a good month, I guess. You know, it's I feel it. So I want to say that it looks that way. And it doesn't matter if you know, my regular viewers will laugh at this one, because you know that every reading I do, it doesn't matter which deck I pick, this always comes up. It's like something that I need to really plant for a lot of you, because it seems like that you guys are always doubting that process. So I always say, trust your process. So, and you guys will probably laugh, because you know I say that all the time, and it always comes up in my reading, and I'm always assuring it to you guys, and that's just the way it is. Bottom of the deck, communicate clearly. So when this comes up, I want to say that you know, set your intentions. I mean, this is a good month for manifesting and asking the universe what you want. I would say communicate that very clear. You know, do not I don't know, I'm a big believer in this, that, you know, if you are wanting to ask something, and I mentioned that in my article when when I was battling between a catalyst twin flame and a twin flame, you know, of course I didn't know that's what they were at that time. It got unfolded much later, but you know, it was the best decision that my cousin said, and my cousin said that you know, do not confuse the universe. You know, ask clearly what you want. And that's what it was. I wrote that in my articles. You know, I believe the 72-hour twin flame test, so you can Google that, and then catalyst twin flame. I believe I even said that there too, so you can Google those two and read it. And you know what? I never doubted it since then. I know what I want, and I didn't confuse the universe in any. It was the best advice that I could get at that time from my cousin, and she's younger than me, and you know, I love her, you know, and she decided to, you know, give me this advice, and I really took it. I really took it. It was, you know, she was like a guardian angel at that time, just giving me that advice, and I'm glad that I did, because you know what unfolded after, I'm here, aren't I, with you guys, and doing my mission work in a big way. So so completely thankful and very humbled that that happened. So I want to say, trust the process, communicate clearly what you want. You have abundance that are coming through, and yes, it's coming through, and look for your signs. That's as simple as that. So what a powerful message right there so far. And we're gonna go into a little bit more earthy things now. So you know, I have this is, you know, if you guys know anything about my journey work, or because I'm very open about my journey and stuff like that, and I know that I mentioned about a tree of life. This was last year. It happened where I actually was doing some massive healing around the tree of life, and went into past life and all that sort of thing, actually. So I'm too busy talking. I didn't slightly shuffle here. I did shuffle all of them, but I'll do a couple more. So anyways, yeah, it was nice to get that. And as I cut the deck, remember I was telling you that I'm feeling very connected to nature, to, you know, very earthy, and look what's here, Gaia. And I was just shuffling it, and it's talking about nurturing. So that's the energy, honestly, I feel. So it's very on part with what I'm feeling. So that's yeah, you know. And at the bottom of the deck we've got lake, and it's talking about stillness. So, you know, when this kind of stuff comes up, sometimes it's nice to just sit back and reflect. And if you are in a warmer place, or if you are actually close to nature, you may want to actually do that, where you can just go by a lake and just have a look and just feel its you know, its water energy and stuff like that. It's very good. It's very nourishing to the soul, to the mind, even to the body, you know, because you take that energy, right? It's really good. I mean, you know, see what you can do. If you can do that, I would really recommend that for October. Walk in the nature. I know that's part of my homework assignment. So yeah, it's all about you know, just purifying yourself. Look at this. This is rain, and in Canada, in Vancouver, British Columbia, we've been getting some really massive rainfall. In fact, we've had rainfall warnings last few days, and we got some really crazy rain. But you know, with rain, you know, also comes that purification, right? It's there. So you know, it's connected with nature, and it's connected with that purifying. You're purifying the you know, the air and everything like that. Everything gets washed, right? So the plants get natural. You can sit there and water, you know, plants. If you are a gardener, or if you love gardening or something to do with that, you will know, then you will agree that when plants get nourishment naturally, they thrive better as opposed to you watering it and stuff like that. They don't like that too much. Like, I mean, yeah, they'll, you know, they'll take it, they'll take the watering, but if it's naturally done through rain or whatever, they thrive better, they like it better. So it's something that I've always noticed. We've got waterfall, and oops. Sorry. That was my home line. I didn't realize I didn't. That was my mother calling. I'll call her back. Sorry about that. I usually unplug all those things, and I was thinking to do that after the intro, and I didn't do that. So, okay, so we've got waterfall, effortless. And that's showing up. I'm going to actually read the traditional meaning of this. And sorry about that. It's the first time it's ever happened. It's just, and I did think of unplugging it. So that's something. Okay, the next one is, oh my goodness. Okay, I see a sync with this, and I'm gonna talk to you about that. Ocean, ebb and flow. You know, honestly, this is all water so far. Rain, waterfall, and ocean. So it's really heavy about that. And this is October. That's weird, isn't it? So yeah, a lot of water energy. I would say really look into the water energy. If you are living by a seaside or ocean, go check that out, or a waterfall or a lake, because or you know, even lake, yeah, because lake was when I cut the deck. So yeah, you know, rain, right? I mean, it's something. I would even. Okay, so this is different. Yeah, if you may even want to collect some rainwater and you know, like put it in a clean bowl, and you know, you can soak your feet with it, you know, warm it up and soak your feet, or you know, just kind of embrace that nature. You know, there's ways to do it, right? So you know, comment below for the rest of the people what you guys do with water. If there's anything that there's a water ritual that you guys do, mention it to the readers, because they can also do the same thing. This one is very different. This is volcano, so that's shown up here, and it's talking about volatility, because volcanoes are, you know, disruptive, right? So bottom of the deck we've got ancestors, and it's talking about generations. So I'll read all that traditionally, what the deck is saying with this. We've got, okay, so basically what it's saying is that, you know, to purify with rain, because it's talking about purification. So you know, you should be purifying your body, your mind, your soul. So there's a purification process for October for some of you. Purify your mind and, you know, shed some of your old beliefs and ideas, and, you know, just try to engage in some sort of purification process, you know. So find out what that is for you guys. Purify your heart. So you may want to check out some of the you know, some of the techniques by doing some breath work, and apply forgiveness. I know that I wrote an article on that. I can link that to you know, maybe have a look at that and just see how you can apply that. That's how you kind of purify your heart. So if you're grief bound by something, you know, you can actually try to shed that, or try to do some sort of you know, ritual like that. You can detoxify your body by changing your diet, doing some sort of, you know, cleanse for a couple of days even, you know, or you can go on a fruit diet or a vegetable diet or something, right? Drinking lots of water. So that's what I was saying intuitively. If it's raining by your house, you may want to collect some rainwater and in a clean bowl, and then just doing some, you know, some foot soak with it. You can warm it up, same water, and just throw some salts in there and do some foot soak, because that's going to be very, very nice. So I should have done that with all the heavy rainfall. I would have collected some really good water, and I could have done that. So I'll have to check my weather local forecast and see when it's going to rain like that, because I can collect that. And that's something I'll actually do myself. So yeah, I'm reading this and I'm getting ideas for myself too. Okay, so yeah, you've got that. And another thing that I want to mention is that water also gives life to Earth, right? So if imagine, I mean, think about the other planets, right? Where they don't have actually water, and that's why you don't have the form of life there, because it just doesn't, you know, it just doesn't consist of water. So water is very, very important when it comes to putting some sort of life into it. Okay, waterfall. So what this means is, so it's talking about coming to the edge of your comfort zone and finding yourself to resist moving past that perceived, moving on to something bigger and better. Spirit is asking you beyond the edge, and, you know, just stand below. See, the thing is, you know, when it comes to waterfalls, some waterfalls are like that, where you can stand at the edge and you can just see the flow. If you can, then just look at some pictures of Niagara Falls. That's the one that I can think of, you know, in Toronto. You know, in Niagara, actually, you can just see, if at the edge, you know, you're just there and you can just kind of see how the waterfall is just flowing, right? So yeah, so you could or watch some YouTube videos of it, right? You know, because you'll see that you know, how the water is just going down. So what it's talking about, and so essentially, is that life will bring you all sorts of struggles, and you know, if you don't allow it to come and affect you in any way, you can actually flow past that. Because if you look at the waterfall, it actually flows through the rocks, and it flows very you know, smoothly. That water is not contained anywhere. It just kind of flows. So, you know, it passes all the hurdles and stuff like that. So that's what it's talking about. It's the major teaching on that is that, yeah, you need to just kind of overcome all of that and just go past that. So yeah, so that's the waterfall. And the next one was ocean. Let's see what ocean is talking about. Oh, actually, you know what? Since I just passed, I've seen lake so many times here. Let me just look at lake as well, because I just want to give you guys an insight on lake as well, just because it's shown up so many times as I'm flipping through this. So the lake is talking about, okay, so it's talking about nothing is in a fast pace. You know, if you look at a lake, it's always very calm and serene, right? So the lakes are very stagnant type of you know, water, right? It's not flowing like the ocean is or the waterfall is, that sort of thing. So it's talking about just taking your time with things, and you know, you're supposed to just kind of calm your body, your mind, and all that sort of thing. And that's what the lake is all about. You know, you know, there's specific biomarines type of animals that actually live in the lake. You know, so check out some of their you know, just Google what kind of life lives in there, and just look up the meaning of those you know, of those animals and stuff like that, or you know, that live in the lake, because there you'll get some insights on that too. So these are some of the additional meaning. You know, it's a lot to do with nature, as I was saying, so very much on point there. The ocean is talking about the ebb and flow. So and that's pretty self-explanatory, how you're supposed to just kind of go with the ebb and flow with everything, right? It's not supposed, you're not supposed to be obsessed and on a particular, you know, thing that's happening in your life or not happening, right? So you need to just kind of go with the flow, because that's what the ocean does, and it goes with the flow with many things like that. So so yeah, so and that's the biggest teaching, is to just flow into that ebb and flow. And then the volcano is talking about volatility, and let's see what that means. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so this is sort of that that card, you know, the tower moment, you know, where you know how disruptive volcanoes are. They actually just emerge and boom, you know, everything is just on the surface and it destroys everything on its path. But think about it after, what it does. You know, what it does is it gives you new life, new form, new things grow from that, right? It's very it's rich in you know, so many minerals and stuff like that, which actually then the plant life thrive from down the road. You know, of course it doesn't happen right away, but it's just nature. It's the way that it self-destructs and rebuilds, right? So that's the whole idea of the volcanoes, and that's pretty much what the tower card is in the tarot deck, where you know, it'll do that. It'll self-destruct, and then you know, you're supposed to rebuild on that. So that's sort of that energy. And yeah, so if and it's the same thing with you know, spiritualism as well, because you know, you're going through a cycle of you know, just destructing, all going through a self-destruct process of you know, removing some old beliefs, patterns, ideas, blocks, trauma, that sort of thing, right? And you're rebuilding on that. So that's what that means. And then we've got ancestors as the bottom of the deck. Let's see what the ancestors is saying. So yeah, see, in shamanism we do lots of you know, ancestral work, so ancestors are huge. So that's something that you may want to look at, is look at some ancestral clearing. October is a good month for that too, because it's a lot of pagan type of work that you can do. So yeah, look up any of that stuff if you wanted to do some ancestral healing. You know, this is a good time, this is a good month to get even that done, right? So yeah, it's very profound in you know, in this sense, to do some sort of ancestral healing. So you know, I mean, just like I always talk this very openly, that just like, you know, you inherit diseases from your ancestors, you know, your family lineage, you also inherit trauma from them. So you may want to look into you know, some really deep spiritual healing, because you can actually remove those energetic trauma as well. So that was this deck. So now let's go into the next one, and this is the shamanic deck. Like I said, I'm in that energy of a little naturey, you know, so so we'll see. Oh, this is hard to shuffle. All right, how do I do this? Some decks are not that easy to shuffle because they're so new and okay. All right. Like I said, I have shuffled so many times already, so this is just on camera. I'm showing that I didn't set up the cards. Okay, so the Earth Keeper. Bottom of the deck. And let's see. Okay, 2 came out. Let's see. Thunder. Oh my goodness. Even this one. Holy moly. It's thunder is thunder and rain, I'm telling you. They go hand in hand, right? The ending cross. So I'm not sure what this means. We'll look at the map. We'll look at their book for additional meaning. Okay, this is not very good at shuffling because it's not slippery. Okay, 2 more, Spirit. Water. So I have to say, wow. Some spirit is telling us something here. There's a big message. Water, water, water. Okay. Water it is. Big message. Big, 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 big. It's not bad, actually. It's actually a good, very powerful message for October, you know, to do water cleanse. You may want to even listen to some, you know, those YouTube music or whatever. Okay, two are stuck in this, so I'll take both. It doesn't want to. The Child and the Corn. Yeah, you know, you can listen to some water music, meditation music, you know, like when you're sleeping, that kind of thing, right? Or just even the, you know, when you're doing things around the house, you want to maybe just do that, even that will work too. So the curse is at the bottom of the deck. So a lot of different kind of stuff. So let's see what the traditional meaning is saying about it. So the first card that showed up was Thunder. So let's see what Thunder is talking about. How are these? I should look at this book more often, but I actually I don't read this one much, so I'll have to look at from the other way. Thunder. Because yeah, it's differently laid out here in the book. Okay, here we go. Bear with me, guys. Because it's not in alphabetical order, I don't know why. It's the way that she set it up. It's Collette. It's the way that she's done it, yes. Okay, the essence, the meaning of that. Legends speak of great thunder beings who live in the sky and call for your attention when great occurrences are meant to happen in the world. Now, I also want to mention, because this is a lot of water energy, you may want to revisit that movie, Jason Momoa's, oh, what is that Disney movie? It's not coming to me, but you know which one. Just look him up, and it's because you know he's it's very, very profound, right? You know, so yeah, have a look at that, because a lot of people that are associated with the Atlantis they feel very, very connected to that. I actually don't even have my cell phone to look it up with that. I'm having a brain seizure here. Jason Momoa, look that movie up. Aquaman. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Having brains freeze here. So yeah, look that up, watch that movie. Maybe you guys will get some downloads there as well. So yeah, your attention when great occurrences are meant to happen in the world. So yeah, basically, you know, like the thunder usually is associated with rain, and that's why I was saying, and rain is always about purification, so it's kind of part of that process. They warn when tensions in situations are called upon to be released. So that's that purification that the other deck was talking about, because yeah, you've got all that. And he also even talks about lightning, right? You know, like thunder and lightning kind of go hand in hand, and you know, lightning is supposed to shed you light even on that and release, right? Or fire, you know, burns and, you know, clears things, right? So it's part of that clearing part. So yeah, it's kind of a dramatic way to clear, but that's what that means. And that's why the volcano was here, because yeah, it's supposed to dramatically do that, right? So so it's sort of like a wake-up call, and they're talking about you know, the awakening and stuff like that. So that's the energy that this card has, and that was 56. 56 turns into 11, and that is a thunder. Okay, the next one was the ending cross. Let's have a look at that. Like I said, this is so different the way that she's laid it, and I have to actually look. But now that I got the idea. So the ending cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the 4 cardinal directions. Okay, the upper, the lower worlds, the steps to reach these realms. So yeah, only it's for me actually, you know, as well, because this is something that I'm going to be doing. So the hole in the center is a great way to interdimensional travel. So that hole that they're talking about here, you know, inside the cross, if you can see, it's very, very neat. And the proverbial eye of the needle, you can, so it's the interdimensional travel and the proverbial eye of the needle, you know, that's what that hole is. And it's a portal, and that's what I was talking about, right? Like in October we've got that 1010 portal, as well as the Arcturus portal, right? So there's 2, that's a gateway. So yeah, so those are the dates that's very, very profound. You may want to actually check those out. And yeah, so it's good for doing some journeying and some meditation or some astral traveling, so that sort of thing. So yeah, you will experience that higher state of consciousness and awareness, and you know, downloads and that sort of thing. So that's very, very interesting. I'll have to look at that more, because yeah, it's good. Now the next one was the water. So water is talking about, let's see. I don't know if you guys can hear, I've got a landscaper in front of me, so bear with that noise. I don't know if you can hear it. So that's the water. And the water is talking about, water talks about purification, regeneration, birth, revival, cleansing, right? It signifies evolutionary shift from the former self to the new self, and that's so true. Many myths around the world speak of the Great Flood, and then after the Great Flood, you know, there's the new life, right? So all sorts of things like that. So yeah, it's that purification process. So I really, really emphasize on water purification for October, because it's here. It's very, very heavy message here. And then we've got the child, and the child is talking about Okay. The child knows the way to joy and happiness. The child offers the return of second innocence, a time born of wisdom and not of naivety. This card allows you to correct your course and offers you second chance. So it's about renewal, almost, I want to say second chance, renewal. So that's the kind of energy that these messages are saying as well, you know, with the water purification. So yeah, so that's really, really profound. And then we had the corn, so have a look at that. Let me just show you the corn. Now, a lot of pagans and light witch work, they love corns, and I know that if you know, in my shamanic class, you know what rattles are, right? So if you don't have rattles, I'll show you. Do I have one? Oh, hang on. Okay, here you go. This is my rattle. So I know I saw this tonight. This is what I bought. So if you can hear it, it's got that little thing in there, and in here they have dried corn. You know, that's and beads and crystals and stuff like that. That's what they usually have. Like, you know, if it's a, well, I didn't open it up to see. I bought it from Etsy, but it was something that was very, very profound to me. And yeah, it's got you know, you can actually make, if you want to make a rattle at home, you can just put some corn, some dried corn in a jar, and you can just you know, rattle with that too, or you can just make something at home like that, right? You know, like just you know, if you're crafty, you can do that. You can make your own rattle. But yeah, corn goes in that. So it is corn is grainy. It feeds life. It feeds livestock. It feeds humans. So yeah, so it's very, very spiritual type of vegetable, right? And it not only it's you know, it not only it gives you nutrition, but it also has a lot of spiritual meaning to it. So you may want to have some additional you know, look of that and just see what the corn actually represents in spiritual journey. Okay, so the corn. And of course I have to look for this, where it is in here. Oh goodness, I wish that they had it in a different way that's easier for me to look through. Okay, here we go. And this was, oh, I have the curse as well, so one more. Okay, so the corn is talking about abundance. So this is why I was saying that, like, it's very abundant sort of you know, vegetable, because, you know, this is why in the light witch work people use corn grains, that sort of thing, because it signifies that abundance, right? So if you're trying to draw in some magic with money and stuff like that, that's why they use it. So it's a good it's a good symbol. So yeah, it represents material prosperity in the world of forms that have stability and sustenance to many. There's more than enough. So, and it's a cheap vegetable to grow, it's a cheap vegetable to buy, right? So it's not expensive, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, you know, you may want to look at some you know, additional meaning on corn. So then the last one was the curse. So and the curse is talking about, that was the bottom of the deck, 28. I'll just show you. So that was at the bottom of the deck. Here we go. Okay. It refers to the limiting stories of our ancestors and the karma. See, this is why the ancestral card came up, right? You know, like, so yeah, it's very, very important to do some ancestral clearing and some ancestral work. Look into it, because that's really heavy in October as well for people that are very serious about their soul healing. Karma, former lifetimes that preordains the events of our lives. So yeah, basically, you know, like I said, that anything that you know, since everything gets picked up from our family lineage down, you actually also have all that stuff to clear and heal as well. It's not only just about your healing, it's about clearing that sort of thing as well. Blockages and stuff like that. So the curse holds us hostage to a false story that we confuse for reality. Recognizing the original wound that is playing out in our life can heal it, and that's what it is. Like, there's so many things that we have to clear in a soul's journey. There's so many false false things that were passed down, and of course, you know what they are. Just being awakened and just realizing all these things that are passing from generation down, right? And they are all false, well, not all of them are false, but a lot of them are. So you have to kind of discern which ones are something that serves you for your soul journey, and toss the ones that are not, heal it, clear it, that sort of thing. So that was the message for was very in-depth, holy moly, message here. I'm gonna hit one more deck, and because I did take it out and I want to actually do that one too, so I'll do that. Then of course, you've got the messages from your twin flame. We'll look at that. I didn't realize I didn't take out that many decks, but it was so in-depth because so many cards came and I had to explain a lot of these things, because it seemed like that the messages really wanted to hit a point here for you guys. Okay, the wise woman of Wonderland, integrity and compromise. If you look at her, she's got the rabbit there, and she's this old lady, and if you look, she's sitting on a mushroom. so yeah. Okay, first flyer, the Rainbow Prince, compensation and perseverance. And that's probably most likely telling you guys not to give up and just continue to, just persevere through your dreams and all that. Ideas preserved, renovation, no action, sorry. Ideas preserve, non-action, and entitlement. That's the Ice Queen. That's that. And the Camel Boy, small steps, asking for help. And one more. The Chess Queen, trust and strategizing. Oh, some of you followers, you really have trust issues, it seems like. It always comes up. So there's obviously really, I need to almost write an article on these guys and just on these trust things. So maybe I should, just put it out there and see if that's going to help some of you regarding some of the trust things that always comes up. Gaia's Garden. Fruition, abundance, recapping what you sow. Or reaping, sorry. It's in cursive writing and sometimes I have a hard time reading these things. Reaping what you sow. So that's the Gaia's Garden. Okay, so this one. Okay, so the first one was the Rainbow Prince. Let's have a look and see what that means. Okay, so he's basically reminding you about the law of compensation, the law of receiving. So after the rainstorm, you've endured on your journey, and the Rainbow Prince brings you a pot of gold, which is the result of your using all the elements of your inner light and reaching into the sky until you touch the material realm from one end to the other. That's kind of a really nice message, actually. This isn't an easy process, and hard work must be rewarded by compensation. So that's what it's talking about. When you align yourself with the energy of giving the highest value, your compensation is inherent in the act itself. But the message here is more than that. The Rainbow Prince says to keep your sights on the sky after the rainstorms that may have upset your life. You know, and that makes sense, right? You know, because the volcano card was here too. So yeah, it's very profound in that sense. Okay. Follow your inner bliss to the pot of gold waiting for you. So there is a pot of gold somewhere, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to just kind of trust that process. The Ice Queen is talking about ideas, preserved non-action, and entitlement. So this is sort of a she's sort of this queen has a little bit of block on her, and you know, so basically let your ideas be preserved until later, instead of just kind of going through it. And that's why the lake was there. Remember, lake is supposed to talk about the stagnancy of it, right? You know, you're supposed to just kind of let it just kind of ride out, that kind of thing. So you can thaw them out and use them at some another time, basically, is what it's saying. Yeah, take it. It's talking about not taking that action. You know, just sitting back and just letting it you know, unfold. So and then in the perfect time, it's gonna actually unfold what that means. So that's, and that relates to like plans and you know, things that you want to accomplish, because sometimes the timing is not the perfect. So that's when she shows up here, it's time to just sit back and relax and see when the perfect timing will be. And perhaps you're trying to, you know, and it also talks about if you're trying to you know, do too many things all at once. So basically it's talking about surrendering to the queen and just allowing you know, for you to just not do that, you know, like hold off a little bit. So that's what that means. The camel boy. And we'll just show you how the Ice Queen looks like once again, just in case you guys want to see it. And I'll show you the Rainbow Prince once again, just in case you need to see it. Right. And the Camel Boy is talking about, see, even this one is talking about small steps and stuff like that, right? So yeah, you something, if you guys are doing something in a hurry, or you want things to be done in a hurry, you know, it's not gonna happen. Okay, when the Camel Boy comes as your ally, he reminds you that asking for help will bring you the right people to ease off the burden in your life. So basically, oh, okay. That's a message for me, because I've been doing too many things myself, and I've had some, for a week and a half, it's been kind of very, and I've been just kind of doing everything on my own, and yeah, it's really a message for me too. Okay, I get it, Spirit. Ask for help, and I haven't been doing that. So yeah, it's see, I tell you that these readings are also for me too. It's not just for you guys. Perhaps a wise person appears to give you advice. Maybe, well, in my case, I'm the wise person giving me advice. Maybe you're moving and suddenly a couple of friends offer you to give you a hand in your packing or something like that. If some of you are moving, you know, ask for help, right? That kind of thing. So yeah, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. And that's something that, you know, some of us, too independent, don't feel like doing that. So that's the underlining message, you know, to not do that, like, you know, ask for help, because people are here around you, know, right? So, and yeah, we like to just be too independent. It's not, it's good and bad, right? It always is like that. The next one was the Chess Queen. So she talks about trusting and strategizing, right? So she's talking about to use all the tools you need to aid in your quest for life of purpose, peace, and prosperity. When she arrives at your ally, you are given the task of asking Spirit for vision of your life. Also asked to know that the right actions to ensure your part in processing of unfolding. Then with sense of trust, allow the strategy to be given into you by the divine. So yeah, you know, it really is just that, like, ask for that sign, right? Look for that sign, ask, right? You've got abundance that are coming and flowing. It's here. Abundance are here, right? And, you know, make sure you trust, right? You communicate clearly. So yeah, it's talking about all of that. It's talking about that action plan and stuff like that. So, I mean, we are coming to the very end of October, to the end of the year. So we've got only 3 months left. You may want to figure out some of the plans for next year. You know, if you have some goals and intentions and aspirations to do or something. So those would be some of the things to think about. It's good to do a head start on that, because that's what it is, right? We've got so many things like that. Like, there's always stuff to do, you know, and it's if you don't put things in action yourself, it's not going to happen. There's no such thing as doing things for waiting for things to happen. You have to do them. You have to work towards it. You have to work towards your goals and stuff like that. So in order to get some sort of fruition, you have to put in that work, that inner soul work. All right, here we go. First question. Maybe it is a question. Maybe some of you really felt that, you know, whether you wanted to know that answer. This is messages from your twin flames. So I have been aching and longing for you as well. So if you guys had that question, whether they miss you and they want to be with you, then there you go. That's the answer. What else? Messages from your twin flame. And this is my last one. So it was a little bit lengthy, but I think you guys like the reading because it's got some really strong messages that I wanted to, you know, to come out for October for you guys to work on. I became obsessed with you, and that scared me insanely. What else? What else wants to come? Two jumped out. I want you to work on your healing as I am working on mine right now. I am your mirror. And that is true, right? Another one. I will make things right between us one day. I'm asking you to trust our connection. Oh, this trust thing, seriously. Okay, we get it, right? We need to trust everything. I wasn't completely honest on telling you how I felt about you. So, and if you guys ever want to order this deck, that is also in my website. You can order it. We are destined to meet in this lifetime. We are fated, and fated not in a bad way, but in a good way, because, you know, fate also has good and bad things attached to it. So yeah. I was scared of getting hurt again. Last relationship went really bad, and, you know, no matter what stage of your twin flame journey you've met your twin flame, know that you know, they've had relationships before, and they also had relationships with you before. So yeah, you need to look into your story to see what that is, and not necessarily that means that it's a relationship from this lifetime. It could very well be from past lives. And I know I talk that very openly, and if you're watching, it's past lives. You're gonna dig there. I'm telling him. Apparently he watches this, so yeah. Yeah, it's though it feels like that it's a relationship that happened in this lifetime, and you know, bad relationships happened and disappointments happen and that sort of thing. But it's actually, when you dig into it, a lot of it is related to your past life. So that's what it is. And yeah, the relationships that he had with me didn't do all so well. You know, we were always having a hard time. You know, and the problem is that when you are awakened to the twin flame journey, you a lot of you will agree with that, you don't only just feel everything with them when it comes to this lifetime. A lot of baggage from past lives come as well, and how you guys had your dynamics in past lives, right? So I know that in many lifetimes we incarnated alone. There were times when we were together, and there were times when, you know, we were just not destined to be, that sort of thing. There were so many stories there, and yeah, all that aspect really comes as well, I know, forward. So it's not always about you know, this lifetime. So there's more to the story than what you see. So you need to dig into it. I had to block you as I needed my time alone to figure things out. So what else? By the way, I'm filming this on October 1st, so you know, and September 30th was my twin flame's birthday, so happy birthday to you. You are all I want. I do not want to lose you. So here you go. And another one. I cannot ignore the signs I'm receiving anymore. You are my dream come true. So I always say that with you know, the runner twins. They see signs as well. It's not just you. They're awakened. Trust me. They are very, very spiritual. And if you're not seeing that in your connection, then you'll have to ask why. I am heartbroken. So yeah, some heavy energies coming forward from the runner twin. What else? Tell us something nice. Come on, you're giving us everything really, really heavy. How about you say something really nice to us? How about that, right? It wouldn't hurt for you to say something really, really nice. Telling us everything so heavy. Come on, DMs. What do you want to tell us? Something nice. Okay. We are heading into a new cycle of our connection. And I have a spiritual awakening now, and I'm aware of our connection. So yeah, for a lot of you, if you felt that. And what's the most important message you want to tell us? I am with you all the time, especially our moments in 5D. So that's the most important message that they want to tell you, that they're always with us in every time, especially our moments in 5D. So that was messages from your twin flame. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Lots of things to ponder on. Watch it a few times because it is a lengthy reading. You may want to actually revisit this reading a few times, write some notes, and yeah, try to do some healing, because that's it's calling out for that for sure. With that, stay blessed and have a wonderful October. I hope that you guys use this October energy really wisely in your healing.